I made $1,971 in 3 minutes and 54 seconds this morning. Here's how I did it. So the first thing, before I talk about how I did it, we're going to show you that I actually did it, because a lot of people on here don't really do it. They just talk about doing it. So this is my execution for my entry. This is where I entered the trade right there to the exact second. And this is where I exited the trade right there to the exact second. So you can see that I did indeed place this trade at the exact time that I said that I placed it. Now that we know what the trade is, right there's the profit I made from the trade. This was the only trade I took today, so obviously I have 100% win rate for today because I took one trade and it won. So now we're going to go into what this trade actually was. So this trade was a bounce of the New York Open. So real quick, I think we all know what a bounce is. A bounce is when something comes and then bounces off of something. The thing that it's bouncing off of is likely lower than the object itself. So for example, if I'm on a trampoline, I am likely above that trampoline, coming down, bouncing up off of that trampoline. Same thing with price, right? So price was hovering around this area. And we did actually have a few break and retests right here, but I didn't take these trades because this was actually during news. So I wanted to wait until news was over to find some clearer price action, and I'm glad I did because I caught this beautiful, beautiful scalp. Now, mind you, I target 10 points. I target, 10 points, sometimes 20 points. So I only caught a little bit of this move. That's just my strategy. That's just like how I trade. A lot of people in our community got in right here, same entry as me, but their exit was a lot later, right? They stayed in a lot longer. And I'll actually show you all that in a second here, but the first thing I want to talk about is why I took this trade. So the reason I took this trade is because I saw that we had a lot of demand right here, so that we had a lot of buyers coming in right here, pushing price up, and then I also saw the price was coming down. So when price was coming down right here, I saw that it was not coming below this level. I was like, okay, this is a pretty important level, or more specifically this level. I saw the price was coming down, and I was like, okay, price is still in an uptrend, right? We have this low, we have a higher low, so I'm like, okay, we're still in an uptrend. I don't really see any bearish signs. I don't really see anything that makes me think we're going to go down. So I'm like, okay, I'm anticipating the reaction off of this level to be a bounce. And I was right? So notice I found my level. I then focused on my reaction. I was right with my reaction. I made money. That's how it goes. A lot of you overcomplicate this. A lot of you have levels. You have indicators. You have candlestick patterns. You have all of this stuff that you just do not need. It's so crazy because like the number one thing that people who I work with who end up making a lot of money using my strategy tell me is they're like, it is so simple. I did not realize how much I was overcomplicating stuff. And everybody, that is what I'm trying to tell you. It does not have to be complicated. Trading is hard. It's hard, right? Despite having a complex strategy. You're risking money. You got to deal with your emotions. If you have a complex strategy, it's going to make it 5 million times harder. So make it easy on yourself. Get yourself a simple strategy and just keep it simple for yourself. Keep it simple. So that was the trade I took. And like I said, I didn't really love those break and retest. I just didn't. We were trading right around news. Even this one, I was like, I don't love it. So we came back into here, and once we were around this area, I'm like, okay, a lot of buying pressure. Once we were right here, I knew that we were going to go up. I don't want to say no. I tell people, I say, don't say no in trading. I almost knew that we were going to come up just because of all of this buying pressure, because I saw price come here, then perfectly close this candlestick right above this New York Open, and I'm like, okay, I think price is going to bounce. And I was right. And that was a great trade. I was really excited to get in on this trade. And I was also excited to see the community get in on this trade. So you can see right here that the community got in on, oh, that is awesome. I didn't even realize how many people got in on this trade. But yeah, so Mario got in on this trade right here. He made $652. Hugo made $3,250. He was literally in that trade for like 4 seconds longer than I was. My man MJ made $246 off that trade. Beautiful, beautiful. I love it. Ace Mafia made $300. My man Mikhail made $262 off of that trade. Ben made $1,200 off that trade. BNR Trades made $3,000. Boom, right? So that's just off that trade. So that's really all I was looking at today, everybody. I mean, the only other thing for us to really discuss is just the importance of having set trading hours. That's really the only other thing that contributed to my success today, and that helped me, come on top or come out of the day with profit and not with loss. Because a lot of you would take this trade and you'd make the profit, but then you try to, long again right here and you'd lose. And the reason you lose is because a lot of you trade way too much. So me, I like to keep this very simple. I get on, I take 1 or 2 trades, I either make money or I lose a little bit of money. There should only be 3 outcomes when you take a trade. You either have a small win, a big win or small loss, right? Or a break even, but that counts as a small loss. So you should never have a big loss. Somebody texted me the other day, and they were like, hey, man, it's like one of my old friends, like, hey, man, I just had a big trading loss. Like, what's your advice for dealing with, like, those big losses that just wipe out your account? And I was like, dude, I don't deal with the big losses that just wipe out my account because I don't fucking have that happen to me because I manage my risk. So you should only be risking 1 to 2% of your account. Manage your risk. If you don't manage your risk, you are pretty much driving a car blindfolded. Because if you don't manage your risk, you are admitting to the world and to the market that you are okay with losing your entire account and you do not respect the market. And the market will very quickly humble you and teach you why you should respect the market. So if you don't manage your risk, you're either going to hear it from me or you're going to hear it from seeing your account go down 40% and losing money that you could use to spend on things that you need in your life. So I would rather you just take my advice and manage your risk. But if you want to go learn the hard way and not manage your risk and lose a bunch of money, feel free. But I don't know why any of you would do that. So I highly recommend you do manage your risk and you do be smart about this. And the only other thing I was watching for today, which didn't end up playing out, was a potential rejection of this high. We didn't end up rejecting this high. We ended up chopping up a little bit, which honestly doesn't surprise me too much. And I'm okay with it, right? Like, I maybe would have taken that rejection right here. If we got a beautiful rejection, I probably would have taken that, but we didn't. So I'm okay with that. Rest of the day has been pretty choppy. We had this uptrend, then we kind of reversed, and now we're in this very, very choppy downtrend. This stuff is just untradeable. The only real thing that you could have been trading today is probably this nice move up. You could have caught this pullback right there. That reversal is hard to catch. There's nothing that really told you that there was going to be a reversal there at all. So that reversal is hard to catch. You could have looked for some shorts off of this downtrend, right? You could have said, okay, we're making a high, now we have a lower high. I'm going to take some shorts there, lower high. But it's still hard. But you definitely could have gotten into some shorts off of that downtrend. I did see some people in our community getting into some shorts off of that downtrend. But that's pretty much it. Everybody. That's what I look for. Quick scalps. When I start the day, I look for my levels, and then I look for the reaction that price is going to have off of those levels. In today's scenario or in today's trade, that reaction happened to be a bounce. Sometimes that rejection or that reaction will be a rejection, right? So it'll be a rejection would look like this. Bam, right? Like the opposite of a bounce. That's literally what it means. But today it was a bounce. So that's what we got. $900 on the day. That will probably be my last trade until the election day. Price is likely going to be pretty choppy and pretty untradeable until we have a new president of the United States of America. So I'll talk to you all then.